What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing well, feeling great, and enjoying freedom. It's a great day to have a great day. It's a great day to have ownership of that real deal money. I'm talking that real deal silver. I'm talking that real deal gold. I wanted to talk about if the spot price of silver were to hypothetically skyrocket, what would be the best type of silver coin, round, or bar to have in your possession? We're going to get into it, but really quick, just in case you're new, make sure to subscribe for a bunch of videos. Subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for even more videos. And make sure to follow me on social media at Mykie DYDSS across all platforms. Instagram for some coin photography, TikTok for some little video snippets, and of course X, which is where the party's at, for all of my thoughts on precious metals, business, stocks, real estate, financial news, memes, AI, the list goes on. All of my socials will be linked in the description for your convenience. I will also be including some Amazon affiliate links in case you need any silver or gold stacking supplies, like anti-tarnish paper, maybe some airtight tubes and capsules, mini lockbox, microscope, things like that will all be in the description, along with some prepping or camping supplies. If you need anything like a water filter, a portable generator, food dehydrator, things of that nature, those will all be Amazon affiliate linked in the description section down below. All right, so in today's video, we got to talk about silver and gold, mostly silver. And I wanted to talk about a strategy moving forward. Now that we are obviously looking at the spot price moving in an upward direction in a fairly rapid pace, I would say, up 100% year to date. Who's to tell what next year is going to look like for us? But as I'm filming the video, it is Monday, December 8th, 2025, 11:07 in the morning. Spot price is down just a hair. It's $57.79. It's down 48 cents on the day so far, or down 0.82%. Spot price of gold, same day, same time, is also down a hair. $4,181.30. It's down $16 on the day so far, or down 0.38%. So both precious metals are down just a tad. Is this anything to worry about? Spot price of silver being down 0.82%. Spot price of gold being down 0.38%. I would say absolutely not. Silver's still up 100% for the year. Gold's still up 60+% for the year. I ain't got to worry in the world about a mild red day. We just had a massive green year with a couple of weeks to go. But I wanted to talk about something today. If the spot price of silver were to hypothetically skyrocket, if the spot price of silver were to go from where it's currently at, $57, $58, and rapidly increase in price in a short window of time. Now, I'm not going to put a time frame on it because this is all hypothetical. What would be the best type of silver to have in your possession if that were to occur? And funny enough, I would say the type of silver that would be best is the polar opposite of the type of silver that we would ordinarily focus on by getting the best bang for our buck, by getting the most silver for our dollars, by going after the type of silver that carries the bare minimum premium. So if you backtrack years and years and years, 6, 7, 8 years, when I first got started stacking, when I first started learning about precious metals, when I first started understanding how to break down the premiums to the best of your ability, I came to the conclusion, and the conclusion was not even just my own conclusion. The conclusion that I came to was fact of the matter. The best type of silver you can stack if you're trying to get the best bang for your buck would be the largest possible piece of silver you can possibly find. Reason for that is because the bigger you go, the lower the premium per ounce is going to be. For example, if you were to get 100 individual little 1 troy ounce silver bars, a little 1 troy ounce silver bar times 100 of them, Each of those 100 bars is going to carry a premium. However, if you go to the coin shop next door and they have a 100-ounce silver bar, guess what? Coin shop A versus coin shop B is each offering you 100 ounces of silver. But if you were to go with the 100-ounce silver bar as opposed to 100 little 1-ounce silver bars, the 100-ounce silver bar will cost you less currency. The bigger you go, the lower the premium per troy ounce is going to be. So when I found this out early on in my stacking career, if that's what you want to call it, I remember saying to myself, well, there ain't no way in hell I'm going to be able to afford a 100-ounce silver bar. So the conclusion that I came to was I kind of found the happy medium. I found what I considered to be the sweet spot. And I'd been saying it for years and years and years and years, and I'll still say it to this day. The 10-ounce silver bar is kind of like the happy place, because the 10-ounce silver bar is when you start to actually see the premiums per troy ounce get broken down a little bit. You don't really see it with 5-ounce bars, 2-ounce, 3-ounce bars. You don't really notice a difference. It's like, all right, you might as well just get 5 1-ounce silver coins, rounds, or bars. The 5-ounce silver bar, you don't really notice a difference. 10 ounces is when you actually start to. But on the flip side, it's also not too big of a piece of silver that, like, you couldn't get rid of if you absolutely had to. Maybe a 100-ounce silver bar could potentially be a little bit tough to get rid of. I mean, for example, if you wanted to get rid of the 100-ounce silver bar today, like, you would sell it to somebody for almost, or potentially a little bit more than $5,800. You would have to assume that you have access to a bunch of people that have $5,800, and you would also have to assume that the people that do have $5,800 want to trade it for a big block of silver. So it could, in theory, be a little bit tough to get rid of. So that's been the stacking strategy all this time. If you want to get the best bang for your buck, you want to go for the largest possible piece of silver that you can afford, or the largest possible piece of silver that makes sense for you to pick up, because it breaks down the premiums. However, back to the title of the video, if the spot price were to skyrocket, what would be the best type of silver to have in your possession? And funny enough, it's the polar opposite. It would be small denominations of silver, but there's a little bit of an asterisk there. I'm not talking about fractional silver rounds. I'm not talking about going and getting a 1/4-ounce silver bar, because the polar opposite is true. The bigger you go, the lower the premiums are going to be. If you go with fractional silver, oh my God, the premiums on fractional silver bring the total cost up to the point where you might as well say, throw that in the garbage and just give me a troy ounce of silver, because it costs the same. That's how much the premiums are. The premiums are so absurd on fractional pure silver, you might as well just go with 1-ounce silver coins, rounds, and bars at that point, because the premiums are so absurd. I'm not talking about fractional pure silver. I'm talking about 90% junk constitutional silver. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what I personally believe would be the best silver to have in your possession if the spot price of silver were to skyrocket. If silver goes up in price at a rapid pace in a short window of time, and you want to, I don't know, take some profit, quote unquote. If you want to trim the fat and reallocate that value into potentially the next asset class in line to rapidly grow. Or if you just need a little bit of cash. Whatever the case may be, whether it be because you want to, whether it be because you need to, whatever. What would be the best silver to have at that time? I would say 90% junk constitutional silver. Reason I say that is because a 90% silver half dollar Due to the size and weight and how much silver it contains, that right there is basically 1/3 of a troy ounce of silver. So right now, with the spot price being just a hair below $58, let's just call it $58, cut that down to 1/3, that's $19 and change. You can get yourself a 90% half dollar with a $20 bill. And vice versa. If you have one and you need $20, you can trade one for a $20 bill. So if the spot price were to go to, let's just say, I don't know, $150 per troy ounce, and you have a 90% silver half dollar, you can fork one of those over for a $50 bill if you need to or if you want to. It might be difficult to get rid of a 100-ounce silver bar if the spot price of silver were to hypothetically go to $150, because now you're looking at $15,000 for that big block of silver. It's great to have. There's no major downside to it, owning it, and you were to get quite a bit of silver for a ridiculously low premium per troy ounce with that 100-ounce silver bar. But if you needed to get rid of silver, and that's the only silver you had, you might run into a little bit of trouble, which is why you wanted to mix and match it up. You want to get the large denominations of silver. You want to get some 1 troy ounce pure silver coins. You want to get yourself some 90% junk constitutional silver. Diversification is key. At the end of the day, silver is silver, regardless of what you're picking up or how much you're picking up. As long as you're getting silver, that's the main priority here, if your plan is to build yourself a nice stack of silver. But different kinds of silver can serve you different purposes. Different kinds of silver can be stacked for completely different reasons. So back to the junk constitutional silver, the 90%. I mentioned the half dollar. What about a 90% silver quarter? That right there is smaller than a half dollar. It's not 1/3 of a troy ounce of silver. It's about 1/6 of a troy ounce of silver. So with the current spot price, cut that into 6. That right there is $9, almost $10. It's like $9.75. So you can fork over a little quarter, which claims to be worth 25 cents according to face value, but according to melt value, it's worth almost $10. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, is the difference between currency and money. That 90% silver quarter, if you measure it in currency, if you value it by currency, it's worth 25 cents. But if you value it by money and translate it to dollar bills, it's worth almost $10. How crazy is that? So if the spot price were to go to that hypothetical $150, like I just said before, you slice that up into 6 pieces, that little silver quarter can get you $25 if you need it or if you want it. Now there's one more. One more we got to talk about here. And it would be the silver dime. Also a magnificent coin to have in your possession, especially if you have some mercury dimes. Just because they're a beautiful coin. I got a bunch of them. If you don't have one, go get you one. Awesome coin. Super small denomination. It's not 1/3 of an ounce. It's not 1/6 of an ounce. It's 1/14 of an ounce of silver. Super small denomination. And 90% junk constitutional silver. When you're talking about premiums, it's still cheaper to get a large denomination of pure silver. But they do carry lower premiums than, let's just say, your 1-ounce silver coins, rounds, and bars out there. So the 1/14 of a troy ounce of silver, according to the current spot price, that would make each one worth a little over $4. Something that is supposedly supposed to be worth 10 cents is actually worth a little over $4, $4.15 at the moment. For a dime, a 90% silver dime, whether it be a Roosevelt dime, whether it be a Mercury dime, as long as it's a 90% junk constitutional silver coin, aka minted prior to 1965, if you have a 64, 63, 62, 61, all the way back, dime, it is 1/14 of a troy ounce of silver. At the moment, it's worth a little over $4. And if the spot price were to go to my hypothetical $150 an ounce mark, that one little silver dime can get you about $11, 10, $11. How crazy is that? How convenient is that? So coming around full circle here, the best silver to get if you want to get the best bang for your buck, if all you care about is silver weight, as much physical silver content for the lowest possible dollar amount, obviously, the bigger the better. Go for the 10-ounce silver bars, 20-ounce silver bars, the silver kilo bars, 50-ounce, 100-ounce silver bars. If you have the currency to get something bigger than that, then yeah, financially, that is the best way to go. But if you want to know what silver would be potentially best or the most convenient to have, and you don't have to stack it exclusively, but make sure to diversify. Get a little handful every now and then. What I would consider to be the best if silver were to skyrocket in value, or even if it just continues to gradually rise over time, I think it would be most convenient to have 90% junk constitutional silver just because of its ability to be fractional silver, to be able to break a troy ounce of silver, to be able to break a 10-ounce piece of silver with smaller denominations. You could trade someone their 1-ounce silver bar for 3 silver half dollars. The same way you can break a $5 bill with 5 singles. It's the same thing, but instead of currency, we're talking about money. Anyway, that's just my opinion. I'm curious to know yours. Head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. If the spot price of silver were to go to some wild, wacky high number, what do you think would be the best type of silver to have? Let me know in the comments. If you guys like today's video, please hit that like button, subscribe. If you're new, subscribe to my second channel, which is my backup channel for even more videos. Make sure to follow me on social media at Mykie DYDSS across all platforms. Instagram for some coin photography, TikTok for some little video snippets, and of course X, which is where the party's at, which is where I share all of my thoughts on precious metals, business, stocks, real estate, financial news, memes, AI, the list goes on. All of my socials will be linked in the description for your convenience. I will also be including some Amazon affiliate links in case you need any silver or gold stacking supplies, airtight tubes and capsules, anti-tarnish paper, mini lock boxes, microscopes, the list goes on. Those will be linked down below. If you need any camping or prepping supplies, I will also be including some Amazon affiliate links. Water filters, portable power stations, food dehydrators, things like that. Linked down below for your convenience. And once again, I want you guys to head on down to the comments and let me know anything and everything related to today's video topic. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next one. Don't you dare stop smiling. Peace.